Hi, my name's Emma and I'm the dating mermaid. I normally hang out over on my website, which is www.thedatingmermaid.com. And in this short video, I'm going to explain what ghosting is and why is it so painful. I'm just going to assume that people don't know what ghosting is, even though some people might do. So first of all, ghosting is when somebody suddenly ends a relationship with another, but without an explanation or any further communication. Now, this can happen if somebody's been going on a few dates. It can happen if somebody's been seeing each other or seeing somebody for a good couple of months. Or it can happen when people have been in relationships for like years. So ghosting is not necessarily just a dating behaviour. It potentially can be like a relationship behaviour too. But either way, the behaviour is the same. It basically means somebody will vanish from somebody else's life without any explanation and they just won't be communicating with them any longer. Now, there's a reason why this behaviour is really painful. In fact, there's 5. In fact, there's probably even more, to be honest. But these are probably the main 5. So I want to have a little chat about each of those. So this is what's painful for the person on the receiving end of the ghosting behaviour. So the 5 reasons that I've come up with are, number 1, it's confusing. If somebody's been ghosted, they don't know where they stand. They don't know if the relationship is on or off because they don't have any official end to move on from. And sometimes that can prevent people from moving on from quite a long time because they literally want to hear the words, it is over. When someone vanishes, you're kind of thinking what's actually happened to you rather than what's kind of happened to us. So the first reason it's pretty painful is because it can be pretty confusing. Reason number 2. It can be a serious shock. And this is especially if you've been with this person for like many years, because it can happen even if people are like married. Your like partner or someone's partner will literally just walk out the door and not come back. Luckily it doesn't happen too often, but it is a possibility. But even if people have only been dating, for a short while, 3 to 6 months and stuff, it can still happen and people can still be shocked by it. And that is because 1, they weren't expecting it. So it can be quite upsetting. But secondly, they're expecting to have a future with this individual, and that expectation of a future has now been shattered. So they've lost a person from their life, but they've also lost that future that they were dreaming about as well. Now, reason number 3, not knowing why it ended. Now that can be highly annoying for people. They're kind of sitting there thinking, why on earth did you leave my life? Is it because I did something wrong? So it takes me to my point underneath, the not knowing why it ended. This leads people to draw their own conclusions about why it ended. So they have no idea why it ended. They're trying to fill in a gap with why it ended. And it's highly likely that people are going to come up with negative conclusions. That's generally how people kind of think. Someone's walked out the door, it must be because I've done something wrong. But I have no clue what I've done. It must be. And then it starts tapping into people's beliefs about themselves, their negative beliefs about themselves. If people believe there's something wrong with them, like they're too chatty, or they are a little bit boring, or they're a little bit overweight, or they're a little bit old, or whatever they believe is a limiting factor with regards to them, they will hone in on that. So you've lost somebody, but you're also focusing on the negative points as you see them. So this second point I've got in the middle here is that you can't check to see if your negative conclusion is true. So for example, if I was with somebody and they ghosted me and I'm just kind of thinking, why have you skipped off? If I think it's because, I'm too old to be dating, I will just automatically assume that, and I can't check that. I can't contact this person because obviously they're ignoring me to say, is it because of this? So they can't give me the reassurance that I'm looking for, that it's not because I'm too old. So I've got down the bottom here that basically you're in a difficult situation. You're either left with the discomfort of not knowing, which is a little bit irritating, of like, oh my God, why did that kind of happen? Or the discomfort of your own negative conclusion. So either way, these are painful. Reason number 4, you may start to doubt your own judgment. Up until this point, you might have felt quite confident in your ability to judge people. You knew how the world kind of worked. You knew how people responded. So you felt kind of comfortable, and now something's happened out of the blue, you didn't see coming, and you think, whoa, I'm not a particularly good judge of character. So in the future, you might start judging, might start doubting your own judgment. Reason number 5, you may become really fearful about seeking other relationships in the future because it's such a painful and confusing situation that you're worried about it happening again. And there is a chance it will happen again because ghosting is It's quite common in the dating world, not necessarily in the relationship world, but it's quite common in the dating world, where people, go out with various people, and then after a few dates, they just don't contact them anymore. Or sometimes, 2 or 3 weeks, 5 weeks, few months, whatever, they literally kind of disappear. It seems to be like a behaviour going on at the moment where people don't really consider others. I think it's probably because we're moving into a technological world where we sit behind screens and stuff, and we forget that the people that we're interacting with actually have feelings, because it's all become a little bit too objective and a little bit too far removed. Anyway, they're my 5 reasons for why ghosting is pretty painful. I'm sure there are others. If you can think of others, write them in the comments box below. And also let me know what you think about my 5 reasons. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think about them? Anyway, thanks for listening. Until next time. Bye now.